What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my World Cup series. This is episode number 38, and today, guys, we are of course going to be starting again here in this World Cup series because of course in the last episode we lost in the World Cup final with the CONCACAF side. Absolutely gutted about that. So we're going to have to start again. We're going to have to go through all the stages again if we do want to get to the World Cup final again with the Confederation, and I decided to go ahead and open 10 packs. That's 50,000 coins worth to begin with. And the first pack got us Di Maria, which is brilliant, isn't it? He becomes the highest rated player we've got in our squad, if you will, so far, our club. But unfortunately, we can't use him because we already won the World Cup with the South American Confederation. That's brilliant, isn't it? But even so, it's nice to collect, and there you go. So that was at least good motivation, and I can get some good players in the first pack of 10. But yeah, this isn't a live pack opening, as you can obviously tell. The reason being is quite simple. I didn't really get time assigned to do it live, if that makes sense. And at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters, to be honest, because obviously I don't really react sort of emotionally, so there you go. But yeah, I decided to open 10 packs. That's 50,000 coins worth, just because, you know, with the CONCACAF side, of course, you guys are seeing, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm really not, and it's lacking in some key areas, you know, mainly defense. And also, we don't have really any wide options whatsoever, you know, and I'd like to get someone like Guardado in to play left mid. Maybe we could change the formation, because I'm not a big fan of, you know, sticking it completely central like we are right now in a 4-2-2-2. And of course, the defense isn't very good either. Navas is a decent goalkeeper, but I prefer to get Tim Howard, and there's a couple of Mexican centre-backs that I'm yet to get, which are decent ratings. So yeah, it's okay. The CONCACAF side isn't as bad as I first thought it would be when we built it, but of course, after losing that World Cup final, and you know, I have lost quite a few games with the side, I'm still not a massive fan of it. And that's why I thought if I open, you know, 50,000 coins worth of packs, maybe I'll get someone like Guardado or Tim Howard or Michael Bradley or Javier Hernandez, you know, one of those really decent players that I want and I haven't yet got for the Confederation. But obviously my pack luck isn't really the best, as you guys know. I've opened well over 200,000 coins worth of packs so far, and probably closer to 300,000 to be honest. And yeah, so far we've, you know, Di Maria we got in this pack opening has been our best player so far, 88 rated, but the players we've got aren't really the best, unfortunately, and in a whole. So yeah, at the end of the day, I was really hoping for some decent players, but as per usual, they were coming in confederations where we have already won the World Cup, and the others weren't really that good. So yeah, I mean, it was to be expected, obviously, but you know, even so, it would have been nice to get at least one of those players like Bradley or Guardado or Hernandez or so on. But also as well, I wanted to say, I know I lost the World Cup final last game. I was absolutely gutted about that. Last episode, I should say, I was absolutely gutted about that. But I'm not prepared to give up with this CONCACAF team just yet. I do know that it's probably very, very frustrating for you guys watching the videos because, you know, let's be honest, I'm going to be losing more games than winning. Well, you know, maybe on a par of the amount of games I win and lose, about the same, to be honest. So I'm not winning the majority of my games as per usual, as I was doing at the start of the series. And I also know that I probably complained about the team quite a bit because it is not very good in terms of rating compared to the teams we face. But I'm not someone who tends to give up very easily. I tend to take it as far as I can possibly go before letting it slide. I think my YouTube channel is a good example of that. So I'm not prepared to give up just yet. I'm going to keep on going. Again, I do know it must be frustrating for you guys to watch, and obviously I'm not a big fan of the CONCACAF side, but I'm not prepared to give up on it just yet. I'm going to keep on going with this CONCACAF Confederation, and you know, hopefully we can win it. It's not as bad as I made out to be at the start when we first built it. You know, it's got some really good players. Dempsey and Ruiz are very good playmakers, and I really do get on with Donovan as well. It's just there's a lack of quality in defence, and obviously, you know, in this game mode we get David Silva there, which is very nice, but again, we can't use him. It's not really quality in defence, and of course this game mode, you know, it's very, very easy to score goals, yet hard to keep the clean sheets. So, you know, you'd prefer to have a better defence than offence, but even so, I'm not prepared to give up on it just yet, and hopefully we can eventually win the World Cup with the CONCACAF side, but I do know it will be very hard. So if you are someone that doesn't enjoy watching a YouTuber lose quite a few games, I said this before, feel free to just stop watching the series. I don't mind. It's totally understandable, because obviously I will start to lose quite a few games here and there, which I already have been doing. But that was the end of the pack opening, as you guys would have seen. I've also decided to change the team around a bit as well. I'm going to play a 4-3-1-2, so I've changed it a bit. I've dropped one sort of playmaker, if you will, to play in the centre of midfield. The reason I've done that is because I wanted to crowd that area out a little bit. I've also put Landon Donovan, I've dropped him deeper to play CAM. And I've converted Dempsey as a CAM to a striker, so he'll play up top with Dos Santos. Joel Campbell's still on the bench because I just can't seem to fit him in anywhere. But yeah, I've changed the team around a little bit, and hopefully I'll get more positive results out of this. You can see Johnson's also came in to play left back ahead of Castillo. Yeah, hopefully I'll get more positive results out of this. I think one of the biggest problems with the 4-2-2-2 was that both of the CMs, as far as I'm aware, have high work rates, so they'll always bomb on up the pitch. So hopefully now with 3 CMs covering, there's always going to be one back. So hopefully that will help us sort of stop getting exploited through the middle of the park a little bit. But yeah, I've changed the team around a little bit, and hopefully I'll get some more positive results out of it. And I'm interested to see how Dempsey will work as a striker. The reason I put him up to play striker is because if you look at his in-game stats, he's got some very decent striker stats. So hopefully he'll do well there, and Donovan is going to drop a little bit deeper. But for the first game of today's episode, and the only game of today's episode, it is to start a new group stage. We're coming against this 88 rated 100 chemistry team. He's got Beneglio in goal, back 5 of Jordi Alba, Ramos, Hummels, Company and Walker. The CMs are Schweinsteiger and Schneider, and the front 3 is Robben, 90 rated closer, and Cristiano Ronaldo. So not exactly the easiest of games to get back into for the return after losing in the World Cup final for the new progress, if you will, the new tournament. And the first chance will come to my opponent there. It was a really good strike, but a good save by Navas. And the second chance will come to us actually in the 21st minute. Clinton Dempsey finds Medina. Medina chips it through towards Giovanni Dos Santos. A great chance here, but unfortunately Beneglio makes a really good save and it's cleared away. So still 0-0, but a couple of early chances for both sides, and another one for me here in the 34th minute. Medina finds Donovan. Donovan finds Dos Santos. He finds Brian Ruiz. The Costa Rican takes on Kyle Walker and shoots it, but it's another good stop by Beneglio, and it's turned behind for a corner. So still 0-0 as things stood, but I was really surprised I was getting quite a few chances. That team seemed very good, and obviously playing 5 at the back is quite hard to break down on this game mode. But even so, I was playing quite well, and again Beneglio has to make a really good save there to deny my header from the corner, and it then comes to Medina. Medina finds Fabian Johnson. He strikes it from range, and again Beneglio makes a good stop to deny him from scoring. So he's still scoreless, but quite a lot of early chances in the first half coming to me, which is really surprising. And another one here on a stroke of half time. Dempsey chips it over the top towards Dos Santos. Company misses the ball. Dos Santos tries to chip it over the goalkeeper, but like an idiot, I went for the chip and I should have gone for the round and then the shot instead. And at half time my opponent brings on Messi off the bench. So yep, as if this team wasn't good enough, I've now got to cope with Lionel Messi. So Messi comes off the bench, and in the 62nd minute, Dempsey gets on the ball and finds Dos Santos. Dos Santos goes down the left-hand side. Another really good chance for us here. Brian Ruiz collects it, takes on Vincent Kompany, swings in across. Dempsey's at the far post, but the sort of acrobatic kick goes harmlessly over the bar and out for a goal kick. So still 0-0, but I was satisfied with my performance, and despite all the chances, I was perfectly happy taking a draw in this game. But in the 80th minute here, you see Cristiano Ronaldo get on the ball. He's got the pace to beat Jeff Cameron. He crosses the ball in after a nice little ball roll and fake, and Messi, who came off the bench, scores what would surely be the winning goal with 10 minutes to go, and I was just absolutely gutted. It was a nice piece of skill by my opponent with Cristiano Ronaldo, but I was just so frustrated because Messi, not really renowned for scoring too many headers. Obviously I know he scored one in the Champions League final against United, that's one of his most notable ones, but even so he's not exactly going to be the best player in the air, and with Brooks and Ayala there I would have thought one of them could have dealt with it. But even so, Messi comes off the bench, scores the goal with the header, and unfortunately for us, it's 1-0 to my opponent. And I was really frustrated because I had a really good game. I felt if nothing else I deserved a point, and instead I ended up getting nothing. My opponent's super team was unfortunately just a little bit too good for us. Messi came off the bench to score the winning goal, and unfortunately we do lose it by a goal to 0. So not exactly the best rebound game after losing the World Cup final, but there were positives. I played really well. I think on another day I could have won that game, but I've got the loss, and it's really frustrating. But that's the end of that, to be honest. And as you'll see by the stats, I felt pretty harshly done by, to be honest. And I think on another day I could have ended up getting the win, but even so, we lost, and we'll just have to deal with it. But as always, guys, a big thank you for watching the video. I really hope you have enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed the episode, please do consider leaving a like, because that is much appreciated, and it really does help my channel out. And I'll see you for the next episode of my World Cup series very soon.